Took me all day, but I finally got one on my homemade jig. Thank you, sir. Hello, regular viewers. We are back. Hello, and I have today, I have my youngest regular assistant with me. That's easy to say. Say good morning.
Good morning.
Hello. All right, what are we celebrating today?
Memorial Day.
Memorial Day. We are celebrating those that gave the ultimate sacrifice, their youngest regular assistant, so that we could have freedoms to do whatever we do here in the beautiful United States, and including making regular lures here in the regular shop. So we thank those men and women that gave the ultimate sacrifice for us, right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Lord, for those people.
Thank
All right.
you, Lord.
Moving on. Today, we are going to do something simple for you. We're going to make a very simple drop shot worm. Make it out of junk that I had laying around. So this is what we're going to make our mold of today. Picture this is going to be a drop shot worm right here. So these are the very simple products we're using today. Is stainless steel lock wire.
That's hard to buy.
We have these were glass beads, glass pearl bead mix. Say that 3 times fast.
Glass pearl bead mix.
Easy for you to say. Okay, so yeah, we've got that. That's what these guys are right here. And then this is a piece of think. Why can't I speak today? This is a piece of pink foam board that I got from my kids' art supplies right here. Foam board. This stuff is very inexpensive, but it makes great fins and tails for your soft plastic molds. So that's pretty much all the garbage we're going to need to make these right here. So let's get going, all right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we're each going to make one of these. So we're going to get a length of stainless steel wire here for both of us.
Yes, sir. So can I show the regular viewers how to do it?
Yep, you're going to make one with me, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right.
So
let's straighten this out real quick.
let's do it.
Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect.
Guys.
And of course, there's other materials that are similar that you could use to do this. This is just what we had laying around the regular shop here. But I just wanted to show everybody how simple it is to make yourself a soft plastic lure, an effective soft plastic lure. Rubber worms, plastic worms, always like the most effective thing. Usually some of the first lures people end up using. I'm just going to put a little bend on the end. Say that, bend on the end.
Put a bend on the end.
Bend on the end.
That's easy to say.
All right, and this one here is roughly 3.5 inches, and it's going to make a great little rubber worm, but also like a great drop shot. So we're going to use this one as our pattern, okay? So we, just like arts and crafts here, we're going to get a big bead to start.
Like this one. Oh
no.
No.
And then don't drop them all over the place.
I have the biggest bead.
The biggest bead. Okay, we'll do 2 big beads.
Then I'll get a gold one on mine. I'm copying
mine. Color doesn't matter, right, on this?
It doesn't matter. It just matters what the size is.
That's right. And then we're going to go down 1 size. And we put 4 of that medium size on there.
1.
So you got to keep track and keep count.
1. Okay, so you put 14 on there, right? Like I did yesterday.
All right, so we're going to check.
Do a gold
2
one.
big beads, 4 of the medium beads, and now the rest is tiny beads. There's 2, 4, 6, 8 tiny beads.
Okay, I'm catching up with you.
That's fine. It's not a race.
Can I call the regulator to cue the music?
Sure.
Regular, cue the music.
Remember to say the magic word.
Please.
Atta girl. So now we're going to bend this tail up.
Yes, sir.
To hold that, lock that bead in place.
So then it doesn't fall off.
I'm going to cut this off while we watch our eyes, because you don't want that flying off and hitting you in the eyes. Okay, just that easy.
Just that easy.
Let's get these beads out of here.
And show them the mold. Let's show them
All right,
the mold.
so yes, next up is the mold. So, actually, no, next up is not the mold. Next up is the tail. We need to make 2 more tails.
Oh, yeah.
So I have my French curve.
It's pretty.
It's a pretty French curve.
It looks like some waves, doesn't it?
Yep. There's all sorts of curves in there. Okay, so what I've done is yesterday when I was making these,
You made this.
Yes, I made that too. But yesterday when I was making these, I wanted the tails to be the same. So I put a line on both spots where the line starts and the line ends. Okay?
And then
So that's going to be our tail. So we're going to do that twice. Here, you want to do that one?
Sure. You are a very smart regular guy.
No, I'm just regular smart.
How's that?
All right? Very nice.
I'm not real good at that.
Yes, you are. Okay.
Oh, right.
You did that
2
perfectly. All right, now we need our little
of those.
scissors.
Can I try? Cut. So should I cut all? So let me see you do it before I make any mistakes.
Okay, get that out of here.
Get that out of here. He does what he does.
And that's what he does. He yams what he yams. It's like Popeye said that.
Like
I
this,
yams
it's
what I yams.
it's designed to do what it does do, what it does do, does do well. Yes, it does. I think it does do. I hope you do too. How's that?
I think that's great. It's like you were paying attention in school.
Not school.
That was school. Okay, so now that we have our mold masters ready with their little tails,
With their cute little
we
tails.
have our modular sprue that we use. And here on Regular Guy Lures, we make our own mold boxes, but we only use Made in America mold boxes, right? Woo! All right. All right, but yes, this is a homemade modular mold box just out of some garbage wood that I had laying around. And I can use this for all sorts of things. So, all sorts of different molds. So what I like to do first is, especially this is going to be a multi-cavity mold, obviously. We're going to be able to make several of these all in one shot. So we're going to lay out a sprue first. All right. And we're going to put in one of our worms. Hold your horses. Just watch for a minute, please, okay? So we're going to do the top and the bottom. And yes, these do have a little bit of wire sticking out of them.
That's
But
okay.
that's not going to mess the mold up at all.
We can cut it off when we do the regular thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, remember when you cut it off?
So we're effectively using, if you're new to the channel, we always like to use a lure as a sprue rather than just wasting a piece of plastic. Yeah, we're going to want to take a little bit of time to make sure these are straight as possible there so they sit evenly in the mold.
As possible.
Okay. All right, so these are our lures. We're going to put our little tails at the bottom
Hey, you're
just to
pretty
see how they
smart.
fit.
You're pretty smart, regular guy.
No, I'm just regular.
No, you're not. You're smart. As in, smart. Most of these I made.
Okay, I'm just trying to make it look real pretty. I don't know.
How's that?
That's great. That's perfect, okay?
I'm trying to go as slow as possible.
Okay, so this is what our mold is going to look like. So what we've effectively done now is made sure that it's going to fit in there. And then when we do the actual one, we're going to have our locators.
Locators.
Locators locating.
Don't forget the ingredient. You
Yep,
forgot
we're
on one channel.
We're not there.
One show. What?
Hold your husses, kiddo. So yes, we got plenty of room for 3 locators here.
Oh.
They won't be rolling around. No, we're just trying to make sure that it all is going to lay out perfectly. All right, so now how many lures are we going to make every time we pour plastic into it?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7 with every shot. That's like almost an entire baggie of lures right there. Okay,
It's like, if you made 2 of these molds,
That's-
that would be 7 times 2, which would equal 14.
good job. Fast math. Okay. All right, so now we know what we got, and now it's on to our favorite step. All right.
The mold.
That's right. Okay, now we are ready to make our mold. So let's get the star of the show. You know him, you love him.
Plaster Paris.
All right, round of applause, everybody. All right, take the cover off that bucket. So we're gonna use this little brush here to
One
help
of
get
our
the
viewers.
Yeah, one of our viewers told us this trick. Get the
bubbles
out of it. Now, if your mold master is very buoyant, you could just throw it in at this point. But we want this to set up a little bit because these beads are, these little bead chains are pretty heavy. So they're going to just sink right to the bottom. So we're going to let it set up while the regular assistant cleans all this.
Yes, sir. Put this in the cup.
Take all that and go clean it.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll let this set up and we'll come back when it's ready to lay in. All right, let's see if our plaster is set up enough yet. See if we can't. Yep, that should be good, hopefully.
Hopefully.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Okay. Let's put our sprue in.
Yes, sir.
How do you do, Mr. Sprue? Okay.
Hello, Mr. Sprue.
These worms, just straighten them out. Put our mold master in. Just want it resting on top. And ideally, if you have to press it in, just like that. Perfect. Okay. Start our line of them right here. I guess we had these closer together before. How did we do that?
I don't know.
Because I still got one more that we didn't put in yet. You practice all you want. And then, right when it gets on camera, you mess it up. Isn't that always the way, huh? All right, we still got to put our tails in. These little tails are giving me a bit of a fit, but we will overcome. All right, there we go. Now we just got to let it dry, and it'll be time for round 2, if they can stop moving. All right, we'll be back when it's all dried and ready for the next round. Oh, and I almost did it again. Almost forgot my locators. Get those dogs in there. The last time I did these little foam bits like this, I glued them to the mold master, and I think that's why it wasn't a problem. I never just trying to just set them in before. So that could be why we're having an issue. All right, just want a decent layer of this stuff. It's 90 degrees today, but apparently it feels like over 100 where I'm at. So our petroleum jelly is very, very loose and slickery. We want to make sure that this mold is going to release from the other side when we take it apart. I have used cooking spray for this before. I have not been as happy with the results, so I am back to petroleum jelly. That's plenty of a smattering. Okay, aside from pouring a good amount of it on the counter for no good reason, that worked out pretty well. Just do this for a little bit, help get some of those bubbles up and away from our lures. Now we just got to let it sit. It's all over but the waiting. All right, regular viewers, it's time to take this mold, open this mold up. I don't know where I was going to take it. I don't know what that was about. So far, so good. All right. Look at that. That is what we're looking for right there. I see a whole bunch of drop shot worms. Let's see if this side can come out. Nice. If this will play ball over here. Okay, we're gonna get a little bit of flashing around this edge right here, right in there, but I think we'd be okay. We definitely have a usable mold here. It just needs to dry some more. Tails came out really well. Nice detail for those. No big bubbles, easy for me to say. Not a bad mold right there. Good. I think we did all right. Now we just got to dry it and then we can shoot it. Okay, so I got this on my hot plate now, just drying out for about an hour or so, 300 degrees, and yeah, we just want to try to get the rest of the moisture out of it, and that way it'll harden faster. Well, it'll become more hard, and we'll be able to use it sooner. So, okay, regular viewers, we're back. These have dried thoroughly. They are about half the weight that they were yesterday when last we spoke. Apparently I'm bad at picking these up. So now we have to get these ready to pour. So we got to do a little bit of carving up around here in all these little channels to make sure that the plastisol is going to flow down this worm and then out into each one of these. So a little bit of that on both sides. You can see right here and right here that needs to get carved out as well. But that is a simple task with plaster of Paris because it's so nice to work with. Just a flathead screwdriver here. And that's all we need. Oh, I should be heating up my plastic while I'm doing this. Why didn't you guys tell me? All right, for this one, we're going to use a nice purple color here. I think that should go nice. I always like a purple worm, so classic worm color. All right, the sprue I use is perfectly sized for this nozzle right here. So after I put my molds together, I can place this inside it, just kind of twist it around a little bit. And it, because again, plaster's so easy to work with, it gives it a nice little bevel. And that way this will fit in there and make a nice seal when you go to press the press your plaster. I mean, your hot plastic in. Plastisol, there's the words. Good. And now this mold is thinner than I normally make them. So what I'm gonna use to help them not crack, hopefully, is panels on either side. So when the clamps go on there, hopefully we'll press the force out a little more evenly, and we won't have to worry about it cracking that mold, because this one again is kind of thin, but it dried a lot, so hopefully it's stiff enough that it should be okay. But this makes a good safety gap right there. Petroleum jelly is our first mold release. Found better than the cooking spray. This stuff, you can also like kind of thin the mix with it. You know, if your plastisol isn't cooking up, it's getting a little, it's not as flowing as nicely. You can add a little bit of petroleum jelly to it, and it helps it flow a little nicer, which also helps it flow in these molds a little bit nicer. So it's like poor man's worm oil, I would guess. And that's me to a T. So if it's quick, dirty, and cheap, that's what we'll use to make lures out of. So that's a lot, and we want it spread all over. It's good to do the outskirts of your mold here when it's a new plaster mold like this, in case you get a lot of flashing. That way it doesn't stick to it too bad. All right, let me go check on my plastic. With safety gloves, very important. We are almost ready to go. Look at that, perfect. There's a lot going on in that purple. I like it. All right, we'll be back when these are all prepped and ready to go. Okay, to be honest, I got no clue what we're gonna get out of this. First shot, a lot squirted out the top here. I added a couple more clamps, which I should have done before I shot it. So that was an act of futility, I guess. But now we're ready for the next time. Okay, let's see what kind of mess we made. Oh, that, other than all that flashing, looks like we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 worms. There you go again. Just got to clean it up a little bit. And next time I'll have better clamps on it, but there you go. From trash to rubber worms. Just that quick. That was fairly easy, folks. Probably want to start cutting before I cut that tail right off of there. Now, admittedly, these are going to need a lot of trimming because this mold is not perfect. This is not a perfect machined aluminum mold, but you can see where we're going with this. First shot, I'm not upset at that at all. If you have never made plastic worms, rubber worms before, and you want to get into it, this plaster of Paris and a little bit of junk from your kids' arts and crafts is not a bad route to start. Look at that. That will absolutely catch a fish. We can continue to clean it up. You can clean it up when you make your own to as much of your liking as you want, but That's a great rubber worm right there, guys. Let's get it set up and do it again. All right, we'll be back when that is ready to go. Okay, our last mold has cooled. Or our last shot has cooled. What do I want to say? This is cool. This is no longer hot. There we go. Sorry, I had to go do a little auto mechanicking while I was waiting for that to cool off all the way. But my wonderful assistants, young and old, were helping me with that, so it went smoothly. Right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What are we doing? Just open the mold up, regular guy. Holy smokes. Okay. There we go.
Oh,
Hey! And this is pretty flashless, too. Look at that. That one worked out even better. For those of you at home, that's what it's supposed to look like. What do you think?
It looks great, regular.
Pretty nice, huh?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, like I said, it's time for the swim test right now. And we're going to go try that out in our neighbor's pool. And let's show you how these little dogs work, all right? Okay, so here's the three ways that I'm going to use this worm most likely. I got a drop shot. There's the drop and the shot, or other way around, whatever, drop shot style. This is your traditional Texas rig with a online weight there. And then we have our shaky head right there. So let's go see how this lure performs in the pool. So the curly tail is curling perfectly, just like we want. Doing our shaky head business with it. And there it is next to an actual worm that fell in the pool. Perfect. So here's the traditional Texas rig setup. And oftentimes I'll just drag these along the bottom when I'm using it like this. There's not a lot of action in worm fishing. Most of it is just sitting still. As you can see by the dead worm on the bottom of the pool, he's really not doing much. But I can't get over how nice that little curly tail came out. So simple to make. And it's Action City. Look at that. All right, and here's the regular grandfather's favorite, the drop shot. Looks like the... Very nice. So just that quick, we have 14 worms. I had to problem math for a second there. 14 worms ready to go. That's like a whole day's fishing trip right there in 2 presses of this mold. And for my more astute regular viewers, this is not 14 here. We rigged up 3 of them right now to do our swim test, but they look just like these, except they lived over here. So I can't believe how easy this was to do. And I haven't even pulled these out yet. Look at that. There they are. This one here came out so nice. Barely any flashing on it at all. This one is almost just cut up and go, just like that. So these worms are absolutely going to catch bass or whatever you throw them in front of that eats worm-type lures. These are so easy to make and so versatile to use in many different configurations. There's way more than what we just demonstrated right there. And again, this whole Mold Master was stupid easy to make too. We just used these beads that I've used for other fishing applications, Carolina rigs and Tokyo rigs and spinners and that kind of stuff. Made them up with my daughter, who enjoyed that thoroughly. We cut out these little Mold Master tail bits just out of little foam board that you get at the craft store. I use that a lot for like making like floating flies and things like that. And voila, a little bit of plaster Paris, some patience, whammo slammo, we've got a whole bag of worms and 2 presses. So couldn't be more happier. Anyway, I want you guys to try this one out. This is super easy to make. Try this. Very satisfying. If you've never made a mold before, this is a pretty easy way to start. Right here, this is a great one to start with. Worms always catch fish in every application, freshwater fishing and a lot of even saltwater fishing as well. So there's many times that something simple like this, you can start catching some fish. So let me know down in the comments this way what you thought, what your thoughts are, feelings and opinions and all that stuff. If you did make your own, I'd love to see pictures of them. Send them to our email address, which is magically appearing right down here. All right. And we appreciate all the support. Please like, comment, and subscribe. We are at like 830 something subscribers as of today. So we're really close to 1,000. And apparently to YouTube, that's something really important. So help us meet that goal. We'd like to try to get there, by, I would like to try to get there by the end of July. But whatever. We're just going to keep on rolling until we can't roll no more. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, let us know. Other than that, you stay regular.
Don't forget.
Hey, what are you kids doing?
You stay regular.